Hi everyone, today we've come out to see Jarrad. Jarrad's got a small car collection here of 3 cars and they are absolutely awesome. So we can't wait to show you guys. Oh yeah.
You got that one.
Gee, thanks. Hey everyone, today we're here with Jarrad. Jarrad, welcome to the channel, mate.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
No worries at all. Now, it's beautiful HX Premier.
Yes.
Mate, how long have you had this thing?
Bought this just before COVID from Sydney. Yeah, bought it from an old fella over there. Basically paid for everything for the car and then COVID hit and couldn't get it transported over. So
right.
ended up having to wait about 7 months, which was a bit of a tough time, and ended up arriving on my birthday.
Yeah,
actually,
right.
so.
Oh, that's a nice surprise to get for your birthday then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he just held on to it in the meantime, did he? He was good enough to do that for you?
He was good.
Yeah, awesome.
He ended up putting it in storage for us and looked after that and assisted with the transport over,
Yep.
which was good.
Looking at the paint job on this thing, and I'm absolutely floored by it. It's flat as anything, it's straight as anything, and it's black.
Yep.
So originally, and you were saying this is a factory Tuxedo black and a one-off, is that correct?
Factory Tuxedo black, they didn't come out with that there, so yeah, on the ID tags all matching with the paint.
Yep.
Yeah, Drew's done an amazing job with this. We're lucky pulling it back to when we restored it. It had been restored probably 10 years prior to me grabbing it, and the paint was okay on it, but then ended up just going the full distance and the full respray.
Yeah, as we'll see further into this car, you definitely, you guys haven't missed anything, have you?
No, absolutely nothing at all.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to strip it all back and get it all back together into this condition?
It's pretty lucky. I didn't get to do much of it myself. Dad, while I was away at work, started doing a lot of it. I think over a course of about a year, stripping things back and just trying to find things as we went through. So tried to keep everything original and as much new old stock stuff as we could. But yeah, it probably took about a year to pull down and get things done on it, and then the paint job was done over Christmas last year, so only just been back on the road recently.
Wow, yeah. So that's a pretty good turnound really for something of this quality, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. It's kept Dad busy, definitely, and almost like his job. So yeah, been quite lucky there.
So your dad's quite involved in the cars with you then?
Yep. Yeah. Apart from everything, he was in Tassie at the time when we purchased it, and had rebuilt the original matching numbers motor for it, and and basically he stripped everything, put it all back together. Done all the running around and all the hard work for me. Yeah,
nice one. Now, you've got the original wheels and everything on here, so your idea with this one was to go back to the factory spec, being this one-off Tuxedo black. Yep,
gone factory with everything, so as you'll see later on inside, woodgrain dash, the GDS rims on there were on there from factory. Everything we've had on there, the chromes are all back on there, and trying to. Luckily, they were in good nick.
Yep. I was going to ask, did you need to send your chrome out, or was?
Yeah, a few of them had to go out for a bit of touch-ups, but quite lucky though. Everything was in pretty good order.
And being a Premier, they always have the extra bits of trim here and there, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think especially the one in the boot there is quite hard to find, and lucky that was in pretty good nick too.
Yeah. No, awesome. So it sounded like you had everything when you bought the car, really. Yep. Was there anything majorly missing that you had to really go and hunt for?
The air cleaner.
Okay, yeah.
So just had the chrome one on there and trying to find one of those, a bit like hen's teeth. So luckily had a bloke in Melbourne found 2 online. Yeah. So got them over. And
I was amazed a few years back when I saw someone selling them for big money and I didn't get it, but now I do, because I think they were also pre-pollution.
Yeah, I think everyone just threw them away back in the day and just put the chrome ones on.
Definitely. Guilty. As far as cars, obviously you're into it with your dad.
Yep.
So is your dad a big influence on you? Is that what got you into the cars and that sort of thing?
Yep. I remember growing up, he had 3 vintage Chevrolets, a 27, 28 and a 29. Yeah. And then all through his life, GTs and a few old Holdens. And remember going to car shows growing up, so that sort of started the passion. And the first car, which we'll see a bit later, the Mustang, that was the first build and strip apart, where I was probably a bit of a kid back then, and he had a bit more bit more involvement in that one than what I did with this one.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
that sort of fueled it, and then we'd fly over to Melbourne to the big car shows over there, and any time we went to another state, we'd always try and go and see what it was about.
Yep. No, nice, mate. Well, it sounds like you wouldn't need much more inspiration than that.
No, not at all.
No worries at all. All right, well, I reckon it's time to crack the hood and let's see what's going on under there. Factory 5 litre V8.
Yep, factory, all matching numbers, 5 litre, turbo 400, factory aircon as well.
Yep, and you've obviously got all that working?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it took a bit. All the housing was in pretty good nick in the end, and then it's just a few new hoses and getting that motor going.
Obviously, it came out when you did the full rebuild.
Yep.
So you tore the motor down. Did you do anything to it? Were you in that process?
So that once I bought the car, that motor got shipped down, and the turbo 400 on the pallet down to Tassie, and Dad and one of his mates fully stripped it and rebuilt it, and then repainted it. Once it come back over, the engine bay was all painted out, and we've gone to drop it back in, and then Dad sort of looked and gone, well, how far do you want to go? Because it's not coming back out again.
Yeah.
And I think that was the turning point to go, okay, we're going to do the whole lot.
Well, like I said, the paint in here, the black paint in here is as smooth as it is everywhere else on the car.
Yep.
So that's a real credit to your painter.
And again, just trying to keep everything as it came out. So it hunted down that air filter there, the power steering pump, everything under there is just trying to keep it that period.
No, you've certainly done that because it feels like I'm looking into my old HZ Engine Bay, even though it's the HX. They run the very same, similar sort of a setup, but the manifold's right. All the piping looks pretty right to me, from what I know. So, yeah, excellent.
Even to the point, I think the pipes have got the original numbers on there that come out from factory as well. So
yeah,
just trying to keep every little bit of detail in there.
So you bought it aligning almost on concourse. So everything right down to the carby and the factory headers. So the carby hasn't been messed with, I assume.
No, it's still got the 4-barrel Rochester in there, and the original manifolds. Everything down there, even to the exhaust. Got that sent over from Sydney, and that's basically the pipes are bent and the same shape and size as they come out factory as well.
Yeah. Your old man's a bit of a stickler for detail then, isn't
Definitely,
he?
mate. Yeah, definitely. I think as you see, as we go through to the Mustang later as well, he's perfectionist.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, let's go and have a look at the trim.
Yep.
Awesome. Very nice, mate. So again, just factory and immaculate.
Yep. This one come out with the factory woodgrain GDS dash. Lucky that one there was in very good nick. Just trying to find any of those online's been a bit of a mission.
Yeah, I would imagine trying to find those bits these days are either going to cost you an arm and a leg, or they're going to be hard to find.
Yeah. So that come around the Premier bit there and around the centre console, original radio.
I was going to say that hasn't even been cut for the modern stereo in its life, so that's really good, isn't it?
No, very lucky there, and the radio was in pretty good nick as well. Didn't really need too much touching up with that.
So you got it working, did you?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, fantastic.
All working.
Yeah, and you didn't. Did you go down the road of putting the Bluetooth in the back of it or anything like that? Or
Not yet.
Yeah,
not as yet.
So who did the trim work for you? It's absolutely immaculate in here.
Nick Fitty.
Okay.
So he's down North Dandalup. Yeah, he was amazing. Just dropped everything down. All finished in the original long grain trim as well.
Yeah.
And same with the dash underneath the carpet there. Yeah, no, he's done an amazing job getting all this back in and the hood lining.
The Venetians, were they on from the beginning?
Those ones there, not too sure. They weren't on there when I bought the car, but just thought the black would be a nice touch to finish that off.
Yeah, no, I definitely like Venetians on the back windows of these old girls. It's just that little extra element.
Yeah, had the original seat belts, buckles, all refurbed to keep that look there, and then hunted down from the paperwork on the car, Muir's Holden sticker on the back as well.
Yep, fantastic, mate. All right, well, let's go and pop the boot and have a look around in there. So that's the dealership sticker you were talking about there?
Yeah. Fortunately, there was a company over east as well that you could just about buy from, any dealership.
Yeah,
going back, so.
Yeah, wow, awesome. And as to be expected, just as nice in here as everywhere else. Just
Fully finished off.
very tidy. Spare GDS wheel.
Yeah, all been sprayed back out. New carpet through there, boot carpet.
Yep.
And there's just the trim I was talking about before.
Yeah. Oh, this one here. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's a hard one to come by, is it?
It is, definitely.
Yeah, I thought you might have been talking about this one here.
No, but yeah, funny, until I actually realised that was in there. You wouldn't think there'd be a bit of chrome in there, but then it's very noticeable when the boot's down. So
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, it's the little things, isn't it? It is. Especially when you're going to the detail that you guys have gone to with getting this back to original.
Yeah.
I guess it was probably something that you just didn't want to let slide.
No, not at all. And I think once I worked out that that's there, it sort of would bug me if I.
Yep. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, this is not your only beast in your collection, so so let's roll the next one in and have a look at that.
Let's do it.
All right, mate, so we're here with your Mustang.
Yeah, 2019 model Mustang.
Yeah, no, beautiful. All right, let's get the real Mustang. Come on, let's go. All right, mate, so we're here with car number 2.
Yep.
Now, when did you acquire this one?
This one was a long time ago, so this is around 1998. Originally Wimbledon white, imported it from the States.
Yep.
And then we sort of drove it around as it was for a couple of years and then did a full strip back and soda blast and full rebuild again.
So this was the first one?
This was the first one. Yep.
Awesome.
So this is
because I was imagining in 98 you would have been a young tacker?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was about 14, 15.
Okay,
then,
wow,
so.
that is young to get your first car, especially a Mustang like this.
Kept a left-hand drive all through the years as well. It does take a bit of getting used to every time. Dad probably drives this one a bit more than I do, but yeah, getting in there, it's a bit to get used to.
So you're saying this was one of the base model sort of Mustangs, is that correct?
Yep.
But you guys have added some specky features and bits and pieces.
Yep, added the GT grille there. Basically, we've still kept it a Ford colour, so it's a Velocity blue, the BA Falcon colour. So we've still kept with the Ford colour. As you see inside's basically as they came out, just a few little touches with the speakers and stuff like that.
So this was more of a build just for how you wanted it?
Yeah.
Because the last one we were back at factory where this is just built for fun.
Correct,
yeah.
I mean, it's still along that factory stage, but with a few little touch-ups and bits and pieces.
Nice set of wheels. What other wheels?
Those ones are Shelby's.
Shelby's,
Those
okay.
ones, yeah.
And how long did it take you as a young bloke to get this one sorted out?
So this one, I reckon this was probably a good couple of year build as well. Like it was stripped back and then it would stay for a while. And it was around, I think, early 2000s. It was painted, and this was all completed down in Hobart.
So Dad had his hands on this one as well?
Yep, definitely, yeah. And I think this one too, hunting around, a lot of the parts come from Melbourne to start with, and then Dad got on to Vincent Paul Shervington over here in WA, who supplied a lot of the parts and actually flew down to give us a hand to rebuild.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we've got along pretty well with Vince and Paul, and remain quite close with them.
Yep, no, awesome, mate. Fantastic. All right, well, I think we should pop the bonnet and see what makes this one tick. All right, mate, so again, very clean.
Yep. Basically, it's the original 289. We've gone with a few of the original pieces, obviously the Fomoco window washer bag, the stickers, etc. But then I've opted for a bit of chrome in there as well, the braces and covers.
So you like your factory features, but you also like your bit of bling too.
Yeah, 100%.
So 289, have you done anything to it or is this basically as you got it?
No, basically as it was just pulled apart, stripped and rebuilt, repainted, and then just put some extractors on there.
So it's pretty much the internal specs are the same as the factory. Yeah. And you don't need much more, do you, these days?
No, especially these things. It's just a nice cruiser to get out and just cruise up the highway and around the streets then.
So what gearbox and diffs running behind this?
C4 auto transmission in this one, and then just the standard 9-inch diff.
Yeah, so a pretty tough combo all around, really, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's a pretty strong driveline, that is. You stayed with the black in the bay on this one?
Yeah, went with the black. Thought probably the blue would probably be a little bit too much, and just kept that factory with the black.
Yeah, I think the chrome really stands out in the black bays, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so,
it does. It sets it right off.
No, and the radiator looks tiny, so I know that's the factory size radiator, but doesn't it just look small?
No, it doesn't. You mentioned it. Never really saw that before, but definitely compared to the Holden, she's
So whereabouts in America did this car come from? Do you know which state
this one's
bought out of?
From California.
Okay.
Still got the original plates that have come out with there. We pop on for car shows, but coming over, I think just the climate over there was just lucky to have it was a rust-free car.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, let's head around and have a look at the trim.
Right, before we get into the inside, a bit of a funny story. So, noticed when we did have the car back in the white colour, the door was a bit of an off-white, and then stripping it down, there was little pen-sized holes through there. And talking with the owner, the original owner in America, the car was actually stolen and involved in a bank robbery over there and shot at by the cops. So, yeah, a bit of a history to that one.
Yeah, right. So how much damage did that do? Was it like a shotgun blast or something? Was it?
Just a shotgun blast on there. So not too sure what happened to old mate inside, but yeah, it did a little bit of damage to the door. And once we stripped the paint back and looked at it, it was like, oh wow.
Yeah. Well, it's probably the first infamous car we've had on the channel then. Yeah. Man, I really love these old school interiors, eh?
Yeah, nice and clean and simple. We've stuck with the pony interior on this one. Just gone for the colour-coded paint throughout the dash and the doors to match the outside there and the black carpet.
No, that looks really good, doesn't it? I like the colour that comes in on the top of just above the door trim there. Yeah. So what kind of condition was the interior in when you got it? Was it tired?
It was, yeah. So the car hadn't been restored until we had it. So for its age, and it was in fairly good nick. But yeah, just decided again, we'll straight away just go with a full replace.
Yep.
I think
no blood on the driver's seat or anything like that.
No, didn't find any of that on when we were stripping it all down.
Yeah. The old long styled Speedo, they weren't really the done thing. Like everyone wanted the separate taco dashes and all that sort of thing. I reckon they're classic as. I really like them.
I think you're right. They just keep it all nice on their originality there.
Well, they were kind of building space aged, weren't they? Because it was the space race was going on, and they were styling and designing cars in a similar fashion and all that sort of thing. And just also full of mechanical engineering in here, like mechanical levers to open up all your vents and all your bits and pieces. You know, really cool stuff.
I think was opted there with the back was the 6x9 speakers.
Oh, yeah.
This one here has got the Bluetooth, like I mentioned before, with still kept the original radio, and just gone with that Bluetooth there, just for a bit of a luxury while driving around.
No, it's certainly very tidy in here and very comfortable. Yeah. That's for sure. All right, well, let's jump out and have a look around the back end.
Yep.
All right, so again, just carpet mats, just very tidy.
Yeah.
You've got a wheel cover on this one.
Yeah, very, very basic and clean.
Yeah, just somewhere to put your bags, really, isn't it?
Yep, 100%.
But we'll always have a look. And I mean, these the back end on these are iconic, aren't they?
They are.
We all grew up with pictures of Mustangs on our walls and that sort of thing, didn't we, when we were young fellas, alongside the supercars, of course. But yeah, they were very popular back in the day. Yeah.
We just kept the pipes coming down the bottom. Contemplated going with the GT style, where it sort of comes out the back, but just kept the pipes down.
You could go either way, but it's a nice clean look, that one, isn't it? All right, mate, so there's one more.
One more.
All right, let's get that one in here and have a look at it.
We'll shuffle them around.